It's good to get back in the gym, try to get some of these guys back practicing with us. Thought our guys were great at Mississippi State, and we took Wednesday off, try to get guys healthy. And Latrell's improving. He's doing some basketball workouts, didn't practice today. So nothing really further on him. Keaton's out indefinitely with a right ankle injury, and then Taylor attempted to practice today. His hand's not obviously full speed, but we'll see how he responds after practice today and see what he's got. So, look, Oklahoma's a team that's got talent. They've got two of our former players in Darian and Mo. They both are in the starting lineup. It's a place we have never won yet. We've lost 4 straight, or all 4 times we played there. So, has not been an easy place for us to go. And they don't lose much at home. I think they've only lost 1 home game all year. So this is not going to be an easy game. We're down men again, but I think us being down kind of galvanized the group that's playing. I think they've kind of proven to be some tough kids pulled together. Sometimes you need a little adversity to pull the group together. I think that's what's happened with this group is, we got down to a low number of guys, and they knew they had to bring it, and they brought it. And the guys we put on that floor at Mississippi State were some warriors. And I think Taylor's been playing super hard when he's been in, and he's dying to get back on the floor because I think he feels confident and good about the way he's been playing, how hard he's been playing. So, he'd be the next one we'd add back into the mix if he's able to go tomorrow. And I think those guys are all playing some pretty tough, connected, hard basketball. But we're going to have to win there because they're good. They got, one of the best scorers in college basketball. Nigel Pack's only one of 3 active players to have 2,000 career points, shooting 45% from 3, which is really good. So, he's good. So they're a good team. Coach Moser's coached the Final Four team. He's done a great job. So they're well coached. They got good talent. They play hard, and they're going to be hungry. Last time we played a team on a losing streak was Texas. They came in here and gave us everything they had, and we didn't match that intensity. And I think we're going to see the same out of Oklahoma coming in on a losing streak. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to give you an effort and intensity, and we're going to have to bring ours because, last time we had a deal like this at home against Texas, I didn't think we played very well.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of mentioned Darian and Mo in your opening. Just what have you seen from them this season at OU?
Yeah, they're both getting better. They're got a lot more experience. They're Darian's a sophomore instead of a freshman. He's, been able to settle in and get more minutes. He's attacking the rim. He's shooting it pretty well. He's plays hard like he always did for us. So, and Mo's a similar player with just more experience, so he's better. He's shot blocker, rebounder. He's averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game in SEC play. He plays hard. He kind of fills the same role for them that he did for us. He's just able to play a little bit more and got some more experience in it. So, those guys will be ready to go, I'm sure. They're good players. They're giving Oklahoma quality minutes this year.
Small sample size, just 4 games in, but what have you seen from the parity in the SEC, and kind of how can that work in your team's favor?
Yeah, nobody's undefeated through 4, so we're a game back, but we're a game back with a lot of teams behind a lot of teams. So, it's going to be pretty jammed up, I would think, throughout the year. And right now with our guys, we're not even talking about SEC rankings, all that stuff. We're just talking about what we got to do to win the next game. And I think all that stuff will sort itself out as you go through the year. But, I think the SEC doesn't have as many high-level teams as it did last year with how good Auburn was, and Florida, us, Tennessee, kind of go down the list. Kentucky had some really good non-conference wins last year. We don't have that many teams way up at the top of college basketball. But if you look at 1 through 16, we're still the best conference in college basketball. We've got everybody ranked in the top, whatever it is, 75 at Ken Palm, I think, or 100 of the net, whatever it is. So the percentage of teams in the projected brackets in the top 75 or 100 of college basketball is still the best conference. It's just we're lacking like teams ranked in the top 5, top 10 like we were last year. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of parity. You look at a team like LSU who's now on 4. They had Kentucky down 18 in the second half, and Kentucky did a great job coming back. They're starting to play a lot better. I think sometimes, it's kind of happened with us a little bit. It's happened with different teams throughout the year. Even last year, it happened some. When some injuries happen and you're forced to shorten your rotation up a little bit, I think some of the chemistry gets a little better. Even if they're really good players that go out sometimes, it just forces the chemistry, forces the rotation to be tighter, and some teams start to play a little bit better. So I think from bottom to top, a handful of teams 3-1, more teams 2-2. Only one team's 0-4, and they just played pretty well. And they've had their point guard Thomas out. When he's in, they're a pretty good team. So a lot of parity. It's going to be hard to win road games this year in the SEC. And like I told our team earlier, since I've been in this league, we've won it twice the regular season. We were 16-2 both those times. Every other time the winner's been either 14-4 or 15-3. So, I don't think the winner of this league's going to probably end up going 16-2 this year, would be my guess. It's going to be more like a 14-4, maybe 15-3, something like that. We just got to put our head down and get better every day, not worry about standings. I think the standings will take care of themselves. Just do what we got to do to win today, have the best practice we can. Let's do everything we can to win the game tomorrow and then just proceed forward like that.
With the front court injuries you guys have been dealing with, just how important has London Jemison's growth been over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, huge. We had to start him, with Taylor and Keaton both out. He had to play a lot at the 4. It's a good thing Amari's been doing what he's doing too, because, between London and Amari, they were essentially our only 4-men the other night, Mississippi State. So, I'm really proud of London, the way he's coming. Shoot, Amari, only Steven gave me a great stat. Only player in the SEC, if you look at the 5 major statistical categories, what he's averaging, he's the only player in the SEC to be averaged. So I think it's like 11.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. He's the only guy in the SEC. So as far as overall defense, rebounding, offense, impacting the game every which way, he's as good as anybody in the SEC as far as overall player. So you get him that can play some minutes at the 4. London, it's really progressing, playing a lot harder, rebounding the ball, went 3 of 3 from Texas, went 3 and 3 against Texas from 3. Those freshmen are stepping up big, kind of giving us some big front court minutes. It'd be good to get Taylor back if he's able to go tomorrow, though.
Yeah, Aiden Sherrill, right now he's got a block percentage of 11.4%, which I think the highest that Chuck ever had was 8.9. And Aiden's, I think he's 14th in the country. Like, what do you make of that and what he's been able to do so far?
Yeah, we've been missing that rim protector ever since Charles left, and kind of challenged Big Aiden in the fall. Like, we got, I didn't think he was protecting the rim like we needed him to in the fall, and we really challenged him. Like, man, our front court's got to step up. Like, we got to, and man, he flipped the switch, and he's been great for the last couple of months now. So, he showed everybody a side that I think nobody realized he had. I didn't realize his block percentage is higher than Bediako's, which is pretty good because Bediako was an elite rim protector for us for 2 years. He kind of anchored the 3rd best defense in the country. That his second year with us, we had the 3rd best defense in the country. And he anchored it, protecting the rim, guarding other teams' post-up bigs. A lot of teams posted up, threw it in. He did a great job. So Aiden's given us a real similar role in being able to guard other teams' post-up bigs, blocking shots at the rim when our guards get beat, and he's doing a great job. Now we're missing some other key pieces that defense had that year that Charles had. It's nice having Clowney at the 4 that also helped clean everything up. But I think Taylor's starting to give us the effort we need. I thought he looked great against Texas. I thought he played really hard. He's had a couple weeks where he's looked great. So, it helped. Brandon Miller was your 3, but, Amari, I think Amari could be that if we get our 4 really playing the right way and get Amari flying all over, playing elite defense, kind of like Brandon. I mean, Amari's averaging more blocks than Brandon through the first 17 games, averaging more steals than Brandon had. So, not scoring it like he has, but our backcourt's scoring it pretty well, and Amari's doing a pretty good job. So I think we could put a group together that has a chance to be a lot better defensively than what we've shown through the first half of the season once we get everybody healthy. And obviously Aiden would kind of be anchoring that defense there.
Who's been your most consistent defender among the guards, going all the way back to the very beginning of the season, not necessarily who's playing well right now?
I mean, Reitzel, when he's healthy, able to move his feet, big, strong, puts his chest on guys, always plays hard. He's at the top. Amari's right there with him if you include him in the guard list. He kind of plays everywhere. I think both those guys give us the effort, the attention to detail, the pride on the defensive end every time out. I do think that Holloway and Philon turned a corner against Mississippi State. I thought it was a lot better. I thought our defense on Hubbard was pretty good up until we built up a pretty good lead, and then he kind of got loose for his average. But I thought those two really gave us more of the effort we needed. I thought Jaleel was good with the effort we needed out of him too. So, but man, if we get Trelly back healthy and keep Amari healthy and keep those other two playing, trending in the right direction like we had them doing against Mississippi State, our defense have a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah, Amari's kind of been on a big trajectory lately. Just over the last couple months, did you ever think that maybe there's a chance that he could be a one-and-done kind of player?
I mean, we did know in the summer that he had the ability where, like, kid's going to be a pro. Didn't know that it was going to happen in 1 year, and we'll have to see. I mean, he's there. I know I see he's showing up on some mock draft boards and stuff, and I've talked to some of the front office people in the NBA, and obviously those mocks aren't, those people don't make the decisions. They don't really do the deep dives into figuring out everything, but he's showing up on some. So, he's playing well enough where people are recognizing it. I mean, he's a 6'7", 6'8" guard that defends, rebounds, makes good decisions, doesn't turn it over, and plays both sides of the ball. There's a lot to be said for that, and the NBA's looking for those big guards that are multidimensional, that are tough. I mean, you kind of go look at, we're headed up there to Oklahoma, OKC's, defending world champs, and you look at who they put on the floor, every one of them plays both sides of the ball. So that league's, they try to copy who's winning, and that team just won it and was on a record pace at the beginning of the year, and everybody they put on the floor plays both sides of the ball, competes, shares the ball. Just ultra competitive, high character guys. Amari's ultra competitive, high character, shares the ball on offense, makes great decisions, rebounds it, defends. Like he's kind of what the league's looking for. So, we knew he was pretty good. I don't know that anybody would have projected he'd be quite this good, but just the fact he competes on every play makes him a pretty good player.
This is looking a little bit further ahead, but is it a relief to know you're not going to have to worry about the transfer portal during the NCAA tournament this year?
Yeah, I saw that came out. Didn't think a whole lot of it, but I think it's the right move. That's what I'd kind of put up, gave my 2 cents on when they had the NABC meeting last spring, and I think that's what a lot of coaches want. Some even at the SEC head coaches meetings, coaches were talking about it's not great having to prepare for your NCAA tournament games. You make to the second weekend, you're prepping for your Sweet 16, Elite 8, and having to do recruiting Zooms the whole time. That's not ideal. So yeah, I'm glad they changed it to what they did, to what it needed to be. I'm sure there'll be plenty of kids knowing they're going to go in a portal, but the fact that you can't actively recruit them until after the season's over will be great. Then you can just focus on winning games, which is what you should be focused on while the season's going on.